So we're back out here at the shop, and I have my lovely assistant, aka my wife, because Ike is up at the track training some folks this weekend. So I asked her to give me a hand, and so I thought I was done tearing this thing apart, but it looks like we're going to have to take this thing down to the frame. I mentioned yesterday in the video that we had a little bit of issue with the bike. Small issue, not a big deal, but when you do this game called racing, you run into these issues, and it's all about the challenge. So we're going to take the bike apart. We've got to have the frame looked at, and we're going to take it to ICW to look at it and see what we need to do to fix it. I think it's pretty minor, and then once we get this little issue fixed, we're going to put it all back together. I will mention in a later episode exactly what it is that we ended up having to get fixed. I'm not quite certain yet what it is, but we have run into a little problem, and we're going to get it fixed. And so we got to tear this thing down today and make that happen. So I've asked my wife, Krista, to give me a little hand me some wrenches, and so we're going to do that real quick. All right.
of your dirt bike, but you have two. We're redoing it.
Yeah.
Take two.
So it is day 2 of the teardown process. We worked, what, 2.5 hours yesterday, I think? 2.5, 3 hours?
Seemed more like 6.
All right, so probably about 3 hours.
Or 6.
We got down to this. So today, all we've got left is to pull the motor and the rear fork, and we should be done. And then this thing is going to go to Brett over at ICW tomorrow, and hopefully we can get straightened out whatever little issue we've got. But so I've got my wife back out here again today. She was gracious enough yesterday, because normally when I got some free time on the weekend, we try and spend it together. So she agreed to come out and help me yesterday and today. Of course, I'm gonna have to agree to go running with her later. Don't kill me this afternoon. You know I'm working nights this weekend. So I'll run with her here in maybe an hour. I'm hoping we can get this thing knocked out in about an hour, hour and a half, and then we'll have some
Running time.
Yeah, some free time to go running. So she's gonna kick my butt. So we're gonna get started, get it down to the frame, and then again, like I said, tomorrow it'll go to ICW. So let's get rolling. So we've got that bolt off, and when I looked at it, it will slide straight on out. So as you can see, one thing that you want to make sure that you change, right, is in these TM Design Works chain guides, this is a replacement part, right? And so this is something you want to keep after and make sure that your chain is not getting down into the attachment bolts. So we'll need to change this out also. Alright, so the motor's out and the frame is pretty much completely apart. I'm going to leave the foot pegs on there because all Brett needs to do is put this frame in a jig and do a couple of things to it. That's why he needed it this far down, is to check a couple of little issues for us, and so it needs to be in a jig for that. So I think we've got it where he needs it, and so tomorrow we'll run it by there and go from there, and we'll keep you updated.
I'm like you.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so we're out here at Dave Sherwood's place, and we pulled the motor out, pulled the frame all the way down, and we're having those couple little issues fixed. So like I said, we're out here, we've got the motor, and we're going to do a leak down test here, and Dave's going to do it for us. So he's going to kind of quickly explain what all he does and how he does it, and hopefully everything works out. And
He's gonna put some power in that thing for me, right?
That's it.
Yeah, he asked me to do a compression test, but it's impossible, you know, out of the frame. So I'm gonna do a leak down test on it, put 90 pounds to the cylinder, top dead center compression stroke, and you can actually hear the air wherever it's leaking.
So basically, you'll put, you know, put the piston at top dead center,
Compression
pull the plug
stroke.
out, and
That's where I put the air, is in the plug.
right,
So if valves are closed, pistons at top dead center, should be no more than 7% leakage.
right,
Past the rings, past the intake valve, exhaust valve.
right. So if it's more than 7, we might have a little issue.
And you can actually hear it. You can hear it if it's coming out the intake or exhaust or your fill plug where you put the oil in.
Right.
And you can hear it.
Yeah.
So that way you know what to do, what
Yeah.
to do next.
And when
Valve adjustment, which we're going to do anyway. Right?
Awesome.
Yeah.
And possibly rings if it's leaking past the rings, but I
Yeah.
doubt it.
So this motor, I think, according to the hour meters, got about 80 hours on it. Now you tell me, usually around 100 hours, they want to kind of look at maybe doing a top end rebuild, or at least check the valves and stuff.
Definitely the valves. I really believe that the air filter maintenance is critical.
Yeah.
With how
You
long
always
the
told me
motor
that.
lasts.
20 years ago.
I did.
You were complaining then already with
I
me
was.
with air filters.
And you're starting to listen.
So how often do you, obviously if it's dirty, replace it or clean the air filter?
At least check it every time you ride.
Yeah.
I always used to carry 3 or 4 of them with me.
If it was an oil change or an air filter, which
Air
would you
filter.
say is
Air
most
filter.
important? Yeah, because it's sucking dust right in there, and then it's
Yep.
chewing it up in the
Yep.
cylinder. Yeah. So
And it just wears everything out. It's like, running sand in your engine. It just wears everything
No,
out.
it's not good.
right.
And
No, this is awesome.
always take more than one to the track. Who wants to wash a filter at the racetrack?
Agreed.
Right.
So,
But Dave, I also would just want to thank you for helping us out.
Oh, you're very
I
welcome.
mean, we know you, we trust you. You've been around for over 30 years, and I mean, you've been a good friend of mine as well for many years.
same here.
So Dave's got a new shop out here, and so tell us, do you have a web address or
I don't.
what's your number if somebody wants to
It's
call you? And have
area
some-
code 919-262-3304, and I'm in Windell, which is right down the road from Liz Lick Towing, and everybody knows that place, I guess. But
Yeah.
come see me. I'll
Right.
hook you up.
And
Love the new shop.
I'll add his number on a link below, and then also in the YouTube video. But he pretty much does it all. So
Yeah,
if
man.
anything you need done to your dirt bike,
I got everything that a dealership has. Tire change, balance, do crankshafts. I do head work.
your street bikes,
Oh yeah.
street bikes, dirt
Dirt
bikes.
bikes.
Apparently you got 4-wheelers in here.
This time of year, yeah.
So in an effort to keep everybody in the loop about what all's going on with this, and I did mention that we had a little issue with the frame. Basically, we had what we assumed maybe one of the welds had a little bit of a stress fracture or whatever in it, and it concerned us, and we wanted to get it checked out. We took it up to Brewers that day here last week, had them check it out. They definitely said that we needed to have somebody that knew a lot about aluminum and welding aluminum to look into it. So I know I mentioned that previously that we were going to take it to Brett over at ICW. That ended up falling through, not a big deal, but I actually came up with another plan, somebody that you know, and so if you want to tell us a little bit about.
Yeah, a girl that I train, she does road bike racing. Her husband, John Fidget, he actually has an awesome workshop, and he had all the welding stuff and everything, and he said, hey guys, bring it. I mean, this is what I do professionally, So we took a frame up to him, and boom, he took care of it. Awesome. So we're extremely happy about that.
Yeah, John has got a really nice shop. He's got some really interesting projects going. So when you get up there and you see what he's got going, he definitely knows what he's doing. So he took the frame in and checked it out, reinforced one of the welds a little bit, and so I think we're happy. And so we've gotten the frame back. We also took the motor to Dave Sherwood just to make sure that, because again it had around I think 80 or so hours on the motor, so we wanted to make sure we didn't need to put a set of rings in it or do a top end rebuild or anything like that. So he did adjust some valves on it. I think one of the valves was just a tie and tight, and so he
did a compression test as well.
So he did.
But he was very happy with the motor. He said it's strong as heck, So we're also good to go there as well.
Right. So we got the motor back, frames back today.
The only thing that worries me is we're going to spend hours trying to put it all together.
Right, yeah.
We should be out there riding, David.
I know it. Well, the key's going to be, are you going to be comfortable with this thing when we get it back together?
Well, I mean, we'll never know until we got it together and start riding.
That's it.
So we got to do it.
Yep. All right. So we're going to get started. Really, this whole sport, if you're not, like you said before, if you're not counting on other people to give you a hand, you can't do this all on your own. You can't be your own mechanic, be your own trainer, fund everything that you know this sport has to offer. I mean, you gotta count on friends. Even these tracks, I mean, tracks count on people volunteering to help out. But with that being said, Steve Scott's come by to give us a hand. He's got a little bit more experience than we've got, obviously, and so we're gonna
Never judge by looks, because I look the most experienced.
Right. You're probably the least experienced.
Don't judge by looks.
So Steve's come by to give us a hand and kind of help us, point us in the right direction. He's taken on some of these projects and built some bikes from the ground up. So we're definitely going to use the help wherever we can get it. So we appreciate you coming by with us.
Hey, my pleasure.